All right. Well, thank you for joining Vibe Osmosis. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I want to get right down to it. Introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, your band, and also kind of like what kind of music you do. Even though we know.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Isabella. I play the guitar and I do vocals as well. I'd say our music is kind of like grunge or punk, and I guess now it's kind of taking more of like a lead towards like metal-ish kind of stuff. And
Um.
our band is Anthropods. Nearly forgot to say that.
Yeah. I'm Woods. I'm the drummer.
All right, I'm Miles. I play bass.
And how did everybody meet? And how long have you been playing music together?
So I met Forrest about like a year ago, and basically we met at a show through a mutual friend, Matthias, and yeah, he said he did like drumming, and I was like, yeah, you should definitely join our band. At the moment, it was me and my other friend Ian who was playing bass, and we really needed a drummer, and we were down with like really anyone, it didn't matter if they had like no experience or a bunch. And
And yeah,
then
at the time I didn't really
yeah,
have a whole lot of experience, but I've
yeah,
definitely gotten better.
I mean, I joined up fairly late actually. I mean, uh, I've known Isabella for years from like
yeah,
school, and like just one day, funny enough, I was like I was doing like a math test like sophomore year, and I got called up by like Isabella sent me a message and it's like, "Oh, you play a little bass, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, a little," because I've been like figuring some stuff out like maybe for like a month. She's like, "You should show up for a rehearsal," and I mean, one thing led to another. I'm playing bass for a couple shows.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So you been doing the live music now, and you got some music out there. I really love your random YouTube video, music video kind of thing where it's getting the perspective of getting kicked out of your garage, like when
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
kind of like a garage band thing, and like that's kind of like. I don't know. It does show off a punk message because like you're getting kicked out of your own spot. I can relate to this because I have four older sisters, and growing up in a house, me playing music, I'd get people coming into my room, knocking on the doors, shut up, stop it, stop playing your amp, like you're making
right.
bad music, this is demonic. So it's just kind of like really funny to kind of like see that in your guys' music video, which is I don't know, one of those ones that tap into a little bit about what you do creatively too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a really funny question. So, astrological signs for everybody.
What'd you say?
Astrological signs for everybody.
Oh, what about it?
What's everybody's astro signs?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an Aries.
Leo.
Capricorn.
All right. Do you guys do you does everybody resonate with like their sign, or do you find like some differences that maybe you don't really tap with, or what?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Googled it once and it didn't really feel like it described me very well. But
Yeah.
I think the books are where it's at. It's a little bit of a deep dive. And also I want to get into another favorite question. So everybody's favorite color.
Um, you said color, right? Um, I mean, I've always been a fan of like red, but I also like the look of like black and pink. Just how like the pink pops out. That's like how I have my hair dyed a bit.
It's gotta be purple for me. I love purple.
I'm like a blue or like a yellow type of guy.
All right, so everybody gets to choose on this one. Maybe a couple people or one person if you just have one person in mind. But who would you like to play the most ultimate game of hide and seek with?
Probably Rick from Rick and Morty because it would like forever, I guess. I don't know.
Shit.
I like to hit these oddball questions out there.
I've never heard that question before.
Yeah, this is a hard
that
one.
was an interesting question.
Yeah,
I gotta respect that.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that one.
Shit. I guess I'd say like some celebrity. I don't know which one, but I'd say like, or just someone from like a band, just like really chill.
Obama.
I feel like Elijah Wood would be pretty good at hide and seek.
Are you a fan of the Lord of the Rings or not really?
100%. Like, ask anybody that I know, and they will give you an exhausted yes.
I want to throw out there's a new Schmeagle game coming out, for all platforms, and it's like a real ass Lord of the Rings game where you're getting to play as Schmeagle throughout like Mordor.
Huh.
It looks really interesting. They did not drop a date for it, but they do have a trailer. It's super epic. I want to get into a little bit more into your music. So, you've now added on a band, or have you guys? You said that you're kind of newer. So so like first it was just kind of like a guitar and drums, and then you later on added bass. Is that right?
It was originally guitar, drums, and bass. My friend Ian, he had like a lot of stuff on his plate, so it was a mixture of him planning to leave and me planning to tell him like, yeah, he really just had to like leave for his own like sake on what he had going on in his life.
Yeah.
So it was guitar. I'd say for the longest we've had just guitar and drums though.
Yeah, we did go through a pretty big like amount of time with just drums and guitar.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a really funny question. What's the weirdest thing that you've seen under someone's bed?
Shit.
The weirdest thing I've seen under someone's bed?
I mean, I'm not really like casually looking under other people's beds.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't really know.
I guess my own. Like I sometimes chuck like spray paint cans down there or whatever, and that's kind of like my hiding place, I guess, from my random ass shit.
My dog used to hide under my bed all the time, so I guess my dog.
I mean, I maybe had like a it was a like a Valentine's Day chocolate box that like bigger than my torso down there for a while.
Here's a really good one. Outside of your band name, what would your drag name be if you were going to like DJ at like a hemp festival or weed festival?
Ooh.
What was the question?
It's like what would your drag name be if you were going to DJ at like a hemp festival or a weed festival?
Oh.
I'm trying. It's got to be like something like soft and like slow is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like a mellow vibe.
Little Silky Fox.
Man.
You got any DJ side names, or you have like any kind of out there personas that you want to throw out there?
Didn't Ian used to be a DJ?
Yeah, one of our friends used to be a DJ, but I don't think none of us have really tampered with it.
I've never seen him do it.
Are you a fan of smoking weed? Are you weed people?
Yeah, I mean
Right.
I am, but I'm not that like doing it like heavily. You know what I mean?
Can you
like constantly?
Can you do any weed tricks? Are you a weed tricker?
Not really. I haven't been able to
Tricker?
smoke.
What is that?
I'm like parkour when it comes to smoking. I'm out here trying to do hoops, little
Yeah.
zigzags,
Oh, yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
write my name in there.
yeah.
Spell it out. Yeah.
No, I've been stuck just with shit ass carts the last few times. So
Yeah, sometimes cards are hit or miss. All right,
yeah.
here's a really good one. Favorite movie for everybody.
That's a tough one.
My favorite is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
so
I'm a
good. So good.
I really liked mid '90s. That one, yeah, yeah.
I was a big fan of uh like the Grand Budapest Hotel, like the Wes Anderson type movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that brings me to my next really funny question. If you were if you had to be stuck in a sitcom for the rest of your life, what sitcom would you choose?
Seinfeld, 100%.
Seinfeld. No, Jerry Seinfeld is Jerry Seinfeld's a predator. No,
Is he?
he's like okay. So like nobody talks about this, but like he
Oh
dated
no.
a 17-year-old girl when he was like 40 or some shit like that.
What the fuck?
And
Yeah, I never heard about that.
Nobody talks about it.
I've never heard about that.
If you haven't heard about the Fred Armistead guy that was on the show Seinfeld as well, he's got like a crazy story. He's kind of done like other outlandish roles. I think he landed on The Office a few times. The Fred Armstead. I guess his wife or last partners kind of put him on blast. I didn't know too much behind some of these sitcom people myself, but they play on TV somehow. I was watching Friends the other day, and I was like, where is Friends actually supposed to be? Because I know for a fact they are not wherever they say that they are.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like New York.
Yeah, I've heard it's supposed to be New York. Yeah.
Because I mean, they have like a coffee shop called Central Perk, which I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not actually though.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, I've seen a couple clips of Modern Family. I think that one.
Oh yeah, Modern Family's good. Forgot about that one.
They also shit on the Puerto Rican families for having like bad representation, even though they somewhat have accurate representation.
Oh shit, I'm Hispanic, man. No.
Yeah. I'm mixed myself.
Oh, what are you mixed with?
Too much. My dad's like as dark as you can get them, and then my mom is brown, but at the same time, like her parents are like European and white, or an Indian.
Yeah, my mom's from Venezuela, my dad's from Spain, so it's definitely like a weird mix in between families. You know what I mean?
Definitely. A little bit of country, then you get a little bit of the other taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just about as white as they come.
Yeah, same here.
All right, so back to the movies. I don't think that we covered everybody's.
No shit. Yeah. Wait, did we? Miles, did you say yours?
Yeah, I popped in. Yeah.
Oh, you popped in. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then I want to also get down to the favorite director aspect, because there's some really good directors worth mentioning, and everyone's got their peak.
I can't remember their names, but the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah.
I know it's like quite generic, but the fight scenes were amazing. I like the ones like how there's like no like cuts and stuff. It's just like a consistent fight.
I was literally watching that today, no lie, with my mom, and my mom never seen it, and the whole time someone kept on saying like, he sounds just like he used to when he was a kid, right, Jeff? And I'm like, yeah, he's older now. He's doing a new movie, Mom.
Right.
Yeah. No spoilers though. I still want to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, like if you don't even know anything about it, I definitely don't want to say anything because like the first time I did not know anything about it and was just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this movie the whole time? Like, why does it
But
keep
it's
on
like
changing?
so fun and intriguing, not knowing shit. It just makes
Yeah.
it so fun.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
really take the ride in this way. It's like a big roller coaster of really trying to put all the information together. And that's one thing about life is, it's like it gives it to you in different ways and you're trying to piece it and everyone's got their own way of, taking stuff from it, interpreting things.
Right.
I want to get into the aspect of your music and the writing process. Is it like we have guitar and lyrics first, or is it like we have a jam first and then we're trying to scope out like what the song is? How does that happen?
Well, like usually someone will like either do like drums or guitar first, and then like whoever does the drum or guitar thing first, then the other person will like add on to it. And I think lyrics are usually last, but Isabella, like, I don't really do the lyrics, so you can like speak for that, I guess.
Yeah, it's usually like for me, like I know like some people like to do like, oh, here's this song idea, do this. For me, it's like if anyone has an idea, like we can just like for me, it's just like just tell the whole band, like I'm open to anything, and then we'll just like put it together and like make something. And yeah, usually for lyrics, I just have like written down like a bunch of lyrics I think would sound cool, and then I just go off of that, or just like topics and that kind of stuff.
And like at the same time, are you trying to like come up with the guitar stuff beforehand before you're taking it to the crew, or is it's kind of like okay, like I'm gonna try and fit with like what I can progress with and see like what they provide. How does that happen for you?
I usually just listen to like what the drum and bass have going so far, and then like if like sometimes I do like need ideas, I already have like a bunch of riffs set down, but usually I try to go with the same like mood or vibe that they have going. So if it's like something darker, then I'm gonna keep it darker. If it's something like more like lighthearted, then I want to keep it lighter.
And also like with your music, are you recording it yourself? Are you having other people do it? Is it kind of like a at home project right now? Like what do you kind of working with?
It's definitely an at home project. In the enforced basement. We had originally been with record label Counter Economics, but like we're really chill with her, Lint. She's the owner of it, but she wasn't able to really get us like studio space and stuff. So we decided to just do it ourselves, in Forest Basement, and then that gave us more control.
I feel you. Sometimes get into your own comfortable aspect of working on music makes it a lot easier to just like form songs other than trying to like maybe work with people that you're trying to give them something that maybe isn't always just fitting for you.
Right? Yeah. I
There
mean,
there's
Lint,
some
she's super chill.
aspects.
She still got the label going. I'd say if anyone wants to have their music, spread around, like she's definitely the person to go to. But yeah, sometimes being on a label for other artists can feel very constricting, you know what I mean? Like they aren't able to express themselves
Yeah.
properly.
Well, I'll bring up like my friend Trevor who lives out in Seattle now. We moved out there together. He got into this record deal with Grunge Pop Records, which is like a sub pop.
Oh yeah, I heard about him. Yeah.
Yeah, so sub pop people basically were like, okay, we're gonna just run off of this and try to find out these rock bands. My friend
Yeah.
Trevor's band, Sun Puddle, landed on it, and basically they became very nitpicky about even kind of like how your presence is online, what you can say online, what you can show up there, and also trying to make you fit for what they're trying to give their promo for their shows to be.
Yeah, you
And
said this was grunge pop, right?
yeah, and
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised about that one.
yeah, and
I really,
I guess they're also on the same level of Anthony Fantano. It's like you can do a lot of work going into a studio that they maybe provide, but also you're not getting like any payout or much payout other than the fact that they are having you, play these shows and be like in the circuit per se,
right. Because I saw a lot of ads about grunge pop, and they definitely looked like shady, like they wanted grunge like really badly and to market just grunge. So I really do got to feel for your friend there, because like I know I'm sure he's very talented and wants to do all kinds of stuff, and it really sucks that they try to put him in a box.
That's exactly what happened, and in a lot of ways, it's what happened to Kurt. I mean, he tapped in and realized that Nirvana was kind of running up against the walls per se, because those
Right.
walls were protecting like. Yeah, I remember in this, and I'm a big fan of Nirvana, but just because, like, I don't know, like, in this one case of him trying to pursue, like, the song Beans, and then like like obviously turning it down, even though if that song landed on the record that was going to be like a real studio record, it would have been one of those songs where people have been like, yeah, I mean, I totally get it from this artist, because like we're getting a different perspective of what their
Yeah.
music is or what they can do. And also I'm sure you have music outside of what you've shared publicly. How do you feel about like your own little recordings that you've collected so far as a band?
I definitely say for Miles to speak on this one, because he's very diverse in his music. Because I'd say me and Forrest do stick to like the metal sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I do a bunch of I do a bunch of recording projects on the side. Uh, I mean, I don't really have like a formal like name for it or anything, but I mean, it's a lot of just like if you're familiar with like Lewis Cole, it's very like it's very like pop meets jazz meets like techno type stuff. It's a lot of just it's very it's I mean it's just fun like stuff that's fun to play. Like a lot of the chord progressions I'll end up working with have like just very interesting like sounds to them. Like I actually have a keyboard right here, funny enough, but it's like a lot of like very very like jazz centric kind of stuff. But I mean, I do get into some heavier stuff, but I kind of am not as good at writing it.
All right, so like in my case, like whenever I was younger, I was like into making live music, and that music was completely different than what I did whenever I made music on the computer with my headphones and like all my gear tapped in. And then also once I like didn't have my gear and I was just working basically off of like Ableton or Logic, I was making like like in my mind very sophisticated like electronica type like clubby type beats, because I was like really focused on like the like just like the simple kick drum and trying to fill up like what you can do in the mix and that kind of stuff too. And I feel like whenever I put out like this one particular EP, it was like a mixture of like, okay, here's like this really heavy sounding like maybe fashion club techno kind of music, but then this next track is like this very weird trippy, it has
Yeah,
guitars and like psychedelica, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden the next one is like, oh, this one's actually really put together because it's like focused on like the song, or like I like
yeah,
recorded like ukulele and violin, and like in my mind it was like showing the full versatility of all the kind of musics you can make.
yeah,
And at the same time, I look back at it now. I'm like, wow, I should have just stuck with like one kind of thing and make like a consistent record for what each sound was, other than trying to like I don't know,
Yeah.
always fit with different genres.
So, I
Mixing
mean,
mixing genres is always a tough business whenever you're playing music and you're
yeah.
interested in other stuff.
I mean, a lot like that's where a lot of my inspiration from like Lewis Cole and Nowhere come from, because both of the I mean it's technically the same people that are working on the both of those uh, bands, but it's a lot of like they'll have like one song will have like super heavy slap bass and like just super funky, and then like the next track will be like this super like soft synth ballad with the just heaviest like drum and bass type drums in the back. And it's a lot of like that kind of stuff has just inspired my like the way that I write, where it's just like how can like the kinds of like uh different contrast that you can get from mixing genres that don't necessarily fit together, but like if you kind of just if you kind of just jam the pieces hard enough, they they work pretty well. You find. Yeah, Nine Inch Nails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I haven't heard of them. Yeah, you
Yeah, I
said.
can't say that I have either.
Yeah. You said Animal Collective, right? All right. Yeah, I'm writing that down. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, me neither.
They had like earlier stuff that was like very they had like a artist that was like French. They had like an artist that was like a person that was like in like a psychedelic rock band or the kind of like prog rock. And they like in different time periods, but like and say that this time period whenever you had this French artist, she sang on the record and collaborated with the guy, and then just develop a different kind of sound for what M83 is, and put out that record as M83 even though it had new people involved. Would you ever say like at your time right now you're open to like trying new things like that?
I'd say for me personally, psychedelic. I really like it, but I don't think it would be the kind of thing I'd play. I mean, I'd be down to do like maybe like some bass stuff or like
Well,
maybe some sort
I'd
of.
say that's a loose term because I want like I want to say it's like it's a little far out for M83 who's done like a record that's like very ambient and like has like no lyrics, and then all of a sudden like hire this person that's like a French like rock singer to do it like a collaboration album, but it still be
Right.
out as like M83. But in that context too, it's like that like in those songs they have some really like hyper kind of energy tracks, but also some like lo-fi weirdness. And are you familiar with MGMT?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I feel like MGMT really is a great example of this, of like having different kind of songs in their record, but also ties into like what their band can do in a live sense.
I'd say I'd say actually like our song like that would be Antonia. It's really our only song with a part with no distortion, and that's where it does play into the whole switch up vibe. You know what I mean? Like you were saying that bands can do other things aside from their main thing.
And that is a really really good example, because I love bands whenever you're getting to hear the differences of what their gear is doing. Like whenever you're finally getting to hear a band like add on their flange distortion, or add on their phase and then turn it off, or add on
Yeah.
their crank up their different EQs and their amps levels, and you definitely realize how it impacts the songs, and it changes the songs' directions too.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to get into some of the bands that like you've mentioned to me. Um, like, how did you kind of come across some of the music that inspire you today, and shout out some of your favorite songs?
Um, I mean, I'd say first one would definitely be Nirvana. That's the whole reason personally I got into punk. I'd say Aneurysm was one of my favorites, the mix of distortion and the clean sounds. But once I got to live shows, DOS became my favorite. I really liked their song Sixth Society. I don't know, I just really liked seeing them live, like they were really just going at it. They were hyping up the crowd. And it was my first show, and that one really, inspired me to really do the music thing, I guess.
I like started out with like pop punk and new metal, like just the like basic shit, and then like kind of progressively got into like the more hardcore stuff. Like started out with like Slipknot and Korn and like Blink-182 and Green Day, and like and then got into like once I like I started getting into emo as well, and then like once I found out about like hardcore emo, I really liked the sound and like the just the emotion like put into it, and it kind of just led to like progressively getting more into that kind of music, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just grew up with like just all sorts of music. I just take it all in. So it's like I'm a little bit of folk, a little bit of uh, like jazz fusion type stuff. I recently started getting into more like goth because, like, funny enough, like I listen to a lot of new wave and a lot of like jangle, and the pipeline between those two to goth is like maybe two steps.
Yeah.
It's like I started out with like David Bowie and like Cranberries, and found my way to Susie and the Banshees. And I mean, I've kind of been growing up. I've been kind of growing into Bauhaus a bit more.
And I want to bring up too. Are you fans of the Cure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Cure.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen how Robert Smith has been on Twitter ranting about the whole deal about this new tour and the new tickets, and not buying the resale tickets, and really trying to support the artist, even though like, have you seen any of this?
A little. I saw some news headlines about it, and I do think Ticketmaster is fucked up. They've done shady shit, and like reselling tickets is also pretty shitty. It's just like weird.
So
But I also do think a lot of tickets nowadays are like way overpriced. But I also get venue costs and stuff.
some of the points that Robert Smith brings up was like, even though that we know like it's all a scam, like we're trying to basically maximize like our own ticket price and our own value, and also trying to basically have the people come out to the show that like are willing to come out to the show, because it's for the Cure, and like some of the people shouted out how, hey, even whenever we buy your ticket, the fees themselves will be way more than what the ticket price even is, and it makes it like $150 if you're gonna buy like a $40 general admission ticket if you're gonna choose that route alone. Just in the fact that they add, like Ticketmaster will add so many extra
Yeah.
fees and also give like catering fees and service fee, and so one of the things that Robert Smith was like, okay, I'm going to look into this. And then immediately, like 15, 20 minutes later, he literally had to make a phone call, I guess, to find out that Ticketmaster was going to give the people like $10 to $20 back for the fact that they like overcharged in their fees after whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up that an artist would have to go and call out a company. Like, I get fees, but I feel like companies should just be upfront about fees instead of, when you're at, the cart, when you're putting already in your information and buying the ticket. Because I was going to go see Def Leppard, and yeah, I got smacked in the face with some fees that really caught me off guard, and I wasn't able to go.
I think that's kind of the whole point of maybe this rant that he continues to bring up about the tour. And like
Right.
I think I'm more than likely going to go to at least one of these shows because I'm a huge fan, and I know like that you only get so much time to live, and
Right.
it's worth it if you want to hear it live. And one of these things too I want to bring up is like, are you a big fan of listening to live music? Are you still going out to shows?
Oh yeah, I love live music.
Yeah.
We went to a show last night actually.
Oh, we also played it.
Yeah,
So-
we played in a show last night.
I did know you guys were playing. What was the vibe? What was the sound? And who were the bands?
So, me and
This was like
Forrest are in
our
Code
side
Blue.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more power violence, so it's a lot more like hardcore. No, I think one of the bands is more of like a noise kind of band, but yeah, it was a really good vibe. It was fucking packed. It was like at least like around 70 to 100 something people
It
in there.
wasn't that much, but yeah, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was just creamed. Oh yeah. What? For me, it was oh, let me think. I guess it would be like, yeah, I think it would be the recorder at school. Classic.
The first thing I was taught was piano. It never really caught on to me, but it was just a thing that my daycare was offering, so I just did it, I guess, and I was never really great at it, but yeah.
I mean, I started out with piano. I've been going strong for 12 years now, I think.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was really fucking good at piano.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm actually working towards going to college for composition, and part of that is preparing a piano audition. So, I mean, kind of got to keep doing it.
Oh yeah. So how old is everybody?
I don't. Let me think. Who's the Miles? I think you're the oldest, right?
Yeah, I'm at 17 as
Yeah.
of like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I'll be turning 17 in like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
I
I
think.
didn't realize you were that. God damn it. I'm 15.
All right. I want to bring up. All right. So I want to say Five Towns College worth the investment and also worth the interview. If you're gonna go for like a music thing, but also the one Full Sail down in Florida. All my friends have went down there and even have graduated. I mean, I'd say it's just like don't go.
I guess that's it for Mal to speak on. Personally, I'm going hopefully to UC DAP for graphic design, but Miles is going the musical route. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get into UC's conservatory program at CCM,
Okay.
which I mean, it's essentially the Juilliard of Cincinnati, and so like I gotta prep like a phenomenal portfolio.
yeah, I feel the damn same for UC.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to a trade school, like for welding.
I'm also going to be the ones that say don't go and nobody go and just like get a van, message a bunch of venues and go on tour for like
Hell yeah.
at least like 3 years and you know spread your music, spread your word and then you have time to get back to school without any problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully that's the dream, man.
I mean,
If he just gotta learn to weld a little in case the van breaks down, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
Just in
literally.
case.
gotta learn to solder so you can.
Yeah.
Whenever I was 17, I packed up my car with all my friends and we went down to Florida for a rainbow gathering festival, and then there was like Art Basel, and so we were like had no plans on ever coming back, and then everybody just kind of became nomads at that point until. I don't know. It kind of. I'd say it takes some time coming back in a full circle. Like I feel like I was one of those road journeys. This was way before COVID at the same time, so it's a
Right.
different time.
Different
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
All right. I will bring up one of these funnier questions. All right. Random fact about yourself.
Huh.
I can wiggle my ears pretty well. I can like pivot them.
Hmm.
I got like a weird fucking like I have like an extra tear duct next to my nose.
That's pretty extra.
I did not know that one.
I'll show it to you next time I see you.
Let's go.
I know how to play the spoons.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
President right now, what would you make legal?
Weed.
Anarchism.
Oh my god.
Ah, yes, the government making no government legal.
Let's go.
Weed
I
has
mean,
just caused so much bullshit. Like how people treat it. Like it's like the worst thing in existence.
All right,
Like
so I want to bring up. I think what I would make legal is that every human has all rights. I don't know. That's my first go
yeah.
to because not everybody does for some reason, and it just blows my
right.
mind. Or
I mean, yeah, equal rights is a good way to go, man.
it's
I
a
mean,
good way to go.
that's
Also, you know, we need health coverage. Everybody needs the best health coverage. So I'm like, maybe making like legal health coverage to all. Like, I don't know how we go about
Like
that.
yeah,
yeah, like
something like that.
free healthcare kind of thing.
Yeah, like people do it.
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
can do it, I guess.
Yeah, it's
healthcare
possible.
is
It's
fucking expensive.
Like we could do it, y'all. All right, I want to get into this one now. Are you a fan of vinyl? Do you have vinyl?
Yes, but
Yeah, I
I
love
hate
fun.
how much it costs now.
yeah,
Yeah.
not. I mean, I don't own it personally. My dad has quite a few records, but I mean, they are desperately expensive. I
Yeah.
was looking through like half price books. Like the David Bowie Aladdin Sane record was going for like $40.
All right. So the thing is, too, like right now, they say people are buying more records than they've ever bought CDs, even though that records are more expensive for the most part. Yeah, it's true. But I'm like, there's nothing wrong with getting your dollar cheap ass or free bin records and taking the dive and listening to like what was good way back when.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I always go for. You know, even though I love my hardcore shit, I still just go for them like mystery boxes. You know, $25, 5 random hardcore vinyl kind of thing. I got
That's
what, like
always good
10,
too. Yeah.
7 inches for like $15, and they're all hardcore. Or I'll just go for random blues and jazz shit because I fucking love listening to that randomly.
The
Not
the
knowing a
Yeah.
last
single
the
thing.
last good hardcore stuff I came across whenever I did that was the Pedestrians and Mankind.
Yeah, I mean they're just like
Have you ever
local
heard of
bands.
Pedestrians?
What's up?
Have you heard of Pedestrians?
No.
No.
They're all right. I mean, I've given this record a spin, and I gave credit because they put a lot of. Mankind is definitely one of those ones where they fucking go hard.
Right.
If you're a fan of dystopia, then it's up your alley too.
Shit.
Yeah, Dystopia is another one of those bands that you were talking about earlier, where they like explored a bunch of different shit. Cause like they have like a bunch of like synth albums and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
good
they also have like
samples.
more poppy stuff, which is like really interesting.
Yeah, I definitely like how they incorporate like some of that weirdness and like their
Yeah.
weird little snippets, and and also the fact that they can have like a really fast record like Minor Threat. Minor Threat
Yeah.
is one of my all-time favorite bands besides Misfits. Have you what was your favorite concert? Have you ever been to a favorite concert yet?
Shit. I think Mudhoney was a really big one for me. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like it was more of like oh my god, I'm watching this band kind of concert, but for the sake of like vibe and like of the crowd in general, because like Mudhoney was great, but it wasn't like, crazy kind of thing. I think yesterday's was pretty insane, and my first ever punk concert was they're both right up there.
I'll say probably my like first concert I ever went to, like for DOS
Yeah.
with Isabella. Like it was just such a like, I don't know, it was just like my world got like turned upside down. It was fucking awesome. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been to too many concerts, but I mean, in April I've got a Ben Folds concert lined up, so
I'm a fan.
I'm psyched for that.
Yeah, I'm a fan. He's awesome for sure.
Like he's playing with the Cincinnati Pops, which is like they're like they're like an orchestra that plays like a lot of like movie scores and stuff. So
Very cool.
It's cool.
I've taken the dive on Ben Folds many times. It's also one of my sister's favorite bands up there for sure. I really want to bring up right before we leave some of the aspects about like AI. Are you familiar with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think AI for you is a useful tool, or do you think like you don't use it, or like you ignore it, or do you think it, like does AI actually work in your life?
Personally, no. But, ever since the whole new, like, image AI thing, as a graphic designer, I should somewhat be worried about it. But I feel like in the end, the experience isn't the same talking to someone who can give you exactly what you want compared to a robot that is just, pushing numbers together. But I'd say, though, in the end, AI is quite impressive, and I won't put it down in the sense that it's not, like something interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a really big fan. Like I love whenever people do like AI videos and they're like constantly moving and changing and shaping
Yeah,
up
that's
like
pretty cool. Yeah, the animation aspect.
yeah, like I'm like mind blown over the fact that you could have like I seen that the AI Jerry Seinfeld show was on Twitch.
No,
And
Jerry
Oh
Seinfeld
my god,
again.
yeah. So I'm like that AI show. I was just like, holy shit! Like a computer like generated this, and like you just put in like minor editing. This is like incredibly, useful. I guess, or
right.
like the fact like it's given to so many people for free now, or trying to like integrate it and like virtual reality and like video games. Are you guys gamers?
Yeah, most definitely, I'd say so.
You hear about
Little bit.
Halo getting like this buyout so that they're gonna get multi-platform, so they're gonna like make Halo games for Xbox and PlayStation and all that.
I had no idea, but this sounds pretty cool. Cause I know it's always been, an only Xbox kind of game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
and like
that'll be fun.
even if it had Steam, you still were only people with Steam because it wouldn't like integrate. Yeah, I'm like, what system do you want to shout out your systems?
I got Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox.
Yeah, I'm an Xbox guy. I mean, I'd play PlayStation if I could get one.
I first had I first had PlayStation, then I switched to Xbox in Seattle. Had that until that didn't work out. Now I'm kind of like I'm a scraggler, so I use what I can get.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I started with the Wii and then my dad's PlayStation 2, which I still use to play Tony Hawk's because fucking
Oh
love
yeah.
that game.
PlayStation 2's
And
got good
then I
stuff.
went to Xbox because I always wanted it since I was little, and I still love it.
Yeah, I like the integration, especially of Microsoft. But I'm really excited for what Activision can change and do, especially
Yeah.
especially if they are gonna really pick up with like the meta people that are doing this like virtual reality stuff with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I wanna get into some of your favorite gear before we go.
Shit. Personally, I've always been like a Squire kind of person, or like thrift store, random busted guitars kind of person. Like I've had my times where I've treated myself to some, more expensive guitars, like my Univox High Flyer by Eastwood, because I really love the design, and that was the only way to find it without it being like $1,000. But yeah.
I like I would prefer to get like the like Pisces and Zildjian symbols and shit like that, but I usually stick to like main minal or manal.
Mental, yeah.
Yeah, mental symbols, and I love them because they're like so cheap and they're like decent quality. But if I had it my way, I'd probably get like Pisces symbols, but they're just so goddamn expensive.
One day, man. One day.
One day.
No,
Yes,
fuck
someday.
a Pisces. Keep it old school and keep shredding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitty
I
mics
mean,
go a long way.
with me, as goes like the curse of every keyboardist ever, I will never be able to afford a Nord Studio keyboard, but I would love that.
Trust me, you will. All you gotta do is just go in Sweetwater,
Yeah,
get your dad's credit card,
Or
or
Yeah.
right.
and then just finance that shit. So it just only charges him monthly, and you're like, oh, dad, that's just a subscription I forgot to cancel. And then like this is that new ass keyboard I have.
Yeah, but then you end up paying instead of paying for like a $1,500 keyboard, you're paying a $1,500 keyboard for like $1,700,
Yeah.
and it's like, and I'm not ready to, I'm not going for like a loss of money over time. I'm going for like, I'd rather pay it up front and then work my way back out of that hole.
Back out of the hole. Oh my god.
I really want to shout out whenever I was your age, my best friend Matt Herf. He had to rob somebody, and he gave me like $400, and he was like, "All right, Jeff, go to the music store and get yourself some music gear," because I played music, but like I only played on like the stuff that my friends gave me and like what my parents bought me, like a Fender guitar. And so
Right.
I went to the music store and I got myself a Korg, micro Korg synthesizer and a beat machine.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And
Honestly.
it changed the direction of every jam ever since then until I sold that motherfucker. I went through so much gear now, but I don't know. I kind of reflect back on that because I was like, that was really the jump start of like, okay, like I'm gonna start making other music than just like plugging up my guitar into my amps and like recording tapes of like me singing in a microphone to like a drum track or whatever. Is now it's like I got to like make beats and like play stuff, synchronize it, and I don't know. I definitely appreciate that because otherwise I'd have been working a little bit longer at my job,
Right.
just to buy myself some more stuff. So yeah, so power on to it. And also, are you a fan of The Mummy? Are you a fan of like Brendan Fraser?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I mean, I'm a fan of Brendan Fraser as like a person.
I think I
All right,
saw
so
like part of it when I was younger. My parents were like, "Oh, this is about to be really gross," and like what was like a mummy's his stomach broke open and a bunch of bugs went everywhere.
yeah,
That's what I remember from
that's
it. That's all.
I feel
I
like
mean,
every parent was like, "Do not watch that scene."
Yeah, my parents were like, "Don't look, it's gonna get gross."
I watched like George of the Jungle as a kid, so that was my Brendan Fraser experience.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. It's still a hit.
That's a goofy one. I love that.
All right. Hey, thank you, everybody, for joining Vibe Osmosis. Thank you for taking the time. Anything you want to shout out before we close?
Where can we find your podcast? Like, where do you put it on?
Mixcloud exclusive, and it will eventually change to multi-platforms or like this Uber Lyft driving app thing. But yeah, so it's Mixcloud. You can actually listen to it for free off of like your phone, and you can listen to it for free like off desktop. But it does kind of always push like download the app for some reason. You don't have to. You can actually just click play and leave it up, and it plays it all.
All right. Well, I guess definitely we'll be checking that out. Just send us a link.
Yeah.
Yep, you
Yeah.
too.
Also,
Yeah, man. You too.
shout out to Code Blue and RevNet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen to our album.
Yeah. And
Bleed.
Right.
Athropods.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man.